so we won't have him here to infect all of us, so we've asked him just to stay away, and so that will just be a written report today from engineering. So we do have the written reports available online. We'll have some citizens' concerns or comments, if there are any, and then we'll vote on a resolution, and then we'll have our consent agenda as usual, and then comments, and then we do have a closed session at the end of the meeting that we'll go through. And then we'll adjourn. So that's the agenda. I don't think I have anything else, so we'll just move on to the next item of business, and that is to approve the Hardin County Fiscal Court August 26, 2025 minutes. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have roll call, please.
Squire Clem?
Yes.
Squire Hicks?
Yes.
Squire Muse?
Yes.
Squire Pennington?
Yes.
Squire Saltzman?
Yes.
Squire Thompson?
Yes.
Squire Whitehead?
Yes.
Squire Yates?
Yes.
Judge Tall?
Yes, motion passes. All right, next on the agenda, happy to say we have an award today, I believe, and I'm just going to turn that over to our clerk, Brian Smith.
Absolutely. There's occasionally a couple of fun things you get to do as county clerk. One of them, we always try to recognize and promote our local elections. The Secretary of State's office hosts every year an essay contest for students and also an I Voted sticker design contest. And there were 9 finalists in this year's I Voted sticker contest. 3 of those finalists were from Hardin County. Fortunately, so is the winner. And before I want to honor that student, I want to recognize her teacher, Mr. Rowland, who is a phenomenal civics teacher. He lives it. He loves it. The phrase I use when I refer to him is, he's the teacher I wish I had when I was in middle school. He really pushes those kids and encourages them to go above and beyond what they think they're capable of. But I'm pleased to recognize tonight Allison Marinich, who was not only the I Voted sticker contest winner, but we do something very special here in Hardin County. We have a position we call Hardin County Election Ambassadors. These are folks here in our community and throughout the state who promote elections and encourage people to vote. And I don't think there's going to do anything more to encourage local people to vote than to collect that one of a kind I Voted sticker. So Allison, if you'd like to come forward, all of us, we'd like to get a picture with you, if that's okay. She announced her candidacy for office. How about that? Allison, we're all really proud of you. Congratulations. And I didn't mention she's a student at Bluegrass Middle School, so Bulldogs are making things happen out there. So to the other students, you got something to look forward to. Thank you.
Very good. Give her another hand. I think her brother wanted to give her a speech for her. Is that right? No.
You did good.
All right. Well, congratulations. Thank you. All right. Next up on the agenda is the Hardin County History Museum, and our friend Tim Asher's going to come up and fill us in a little bit.
Tim Asher, I thought that was Mr.
Mr. Haycraft.
Mr. Haycraft, only on Thursday night. Thank you, Judge Squires. It's an honor to be here. I was telling somebody before the meeting, it's been 17 years before I stood before the court, usually making a report as a staff person, and he's not here today, but Francis Simpson would always treat me like a grandchild before the meeting, and once we got into the meeting, he'd hit me with left hooks and things that I just never had seen before. He's pretty sneaky, so we'll see what happens today. I guess just a couple of comments on, we have our county attorney, Jenny Oldham, who said she's not running for that office again. She grew up in that office. I don't know if you know that. She was in high school in that office, so nobody knows the county attorney better than Jenny Oldham. And we had some fun with Kenny Saltzman the other night at the walking tour. There's a part where I'm talking about we had held the county government building, heard the county's business and individual homes, and I always point somebody out in the crowd. We had it in your home, unsuspecting, and of course, he played it off pretty well, but I pointed him out and said, thank you for your hospitality. So he came to the walking tour and had a big crowd that night. So, and he stayed till the end. I was surprised at that. So anyway, let me get going.
It was
here.
very fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
I'm glad you did. Come see us next year.
Yes, sir. I will.
I have written or given you a lot of information there, so I wouldn't have to talk as much. I have a memorandum basically on most of the stuff that we do, and we have just adopted a cultural heritage plan. The cultural heritage plan is basically encouraging our tourism bureaus and county governments, powers that be, to concentrate on cultural heritage tourism. We have an incredible story to tell here in Hardin County, and that is the job of the Hardin County History Museum, and I think it would benefit the county with tourism dollars to concentrate on tourism. And I'm not criticizing anything that our tourism bureaus have done. I think they've done a fantastic job, but we have such a wonderful story here to tell. I think that's something that we may have overlooked over time. The Hardin County History Museum has really been in existence since 2002. The library moved out of the building and moved to a new building, and there was a group that got together and said it's time to try to put together a history museum. So the Fiscal Court was kind enough to give us the building, and we had help from the county, from Lewis Lawson, the jailer, who put a foreman and inmates in to do most of the work, constructing or changing the building from a library to a history museum. And we simply couldn't do it without the Fiscal Court. Our mission statement has remained unchanged since it began, and what we do is preserve, exhibit, and educate the public to the history of Hardin County, Kentucky. We have a 25-member board. It's all volunteer. Our board is all volunteer. Our ambassadors, who are the face of the museum, they're all volunteers. And they're in there to keep the doors open, anyone who comes through to answer any questions. We're open from 10 to 2, from Tuesday to Saturday. And during the summer, we have extended hours. But primarily what we do is we educate the public to local Kentucky and national history through the lens of Hardin County history. We offer group tours. We work with local schools with their projects. We have a speakers bureau whereby monthly we have someone, either museum personnel, authors, or other accomplished individuals, to speak on important topics in local interest or historical importance. We have weekly articles on Facebook on a variety of topics. One of the last ones written was on General Robert Anderson, who was the first commander of Fort Duffield, and what an impressive individual he was. We also have special programs throughout the year. We haven't done this in a while, but we have done the Morgan's Christmas Raid. We'd have a dinner one evening with an author speaking, and the next day we'd hop on a bus, and we would go from one end of the county to the other with all the important stops that Morgan made on the Christmas Raid from Upton to the Rolling Fork River. We offer genealogical research. We do this through our partnership with Ancestral Trails Historical Society. Now, they're a separate organization, but we have a common goal of educating individuals to history and to what their relatives did who came before them. We provide Ancestral Trails space in the museum, and it's a good fit for us. They have research books for most of the 120 Kentucky counties, for 23 of the surrounding states, as well as resources from Canada, England, Germany, Ireland, and Scotland. We work to preserve the past. Of course, we collect artifacts to display in the museum. A couple of things that we do metal detecting. We do a lot of research on items as to if they're authentic and where they fit in. The Hazel Hall house that was just raised on Gaither Station Road, they were kind enough to let us metal detect there, and we found a few things as well as go through the house and found other items that supplemented our current exhibits. The Herb Jones property, it's slated to be a county park or city park. But we did do some metal detecting there. There was a cabin there that was owned by, what was the guy's name? Samuel Haycraft Sr. And there's also been a number of businesses there. They've done everything from sell mules to automobiles. We, of course, are collecting and appraising artifacts to see if they merit being exhibited. We don't have a lot of space, so we have to be very careful with what we do exhibit. And we also engage in outreach. We go out to the county, talk to the people of Hardin County. We want to hear their stories, see their photographs, and their important items. We do this a couple of ways. We've invited our local leaders, elected officials, and important civic leaders for a private tour of the museum. We want advice and recommendations on how we can tell our story better. We also go what we call museum to the communities. Now, a lot of the communities in Hardin County have a Pride Festival where they will have Upton Days or Cecilia Days. We've been going to those, setting up a booth, and we take some artifacts with us, but we get a lot of conversation from individuals on what's happened, what they feel is important, and that's what we want to know. We want to exhibit we want to represent and exhibit for all of Hardin County. We are also an economic engine for tourism. We have an incredible story to tell here, as I've said, and people all over the world want to hear it. This year we've had visitors from 34 of the 50 United States. We've had international guests from Australia, Germany, Canada, Puerto Rico, Ireland, and England. Admittedly, about 80% of our visitors are from Kentucky, and just over half of those are from Hardin County. But that's probably about half of the individuals that do go through our museum. We don't ask the patrons of Ancestral Trails to sign our book. And of course, they can sign or they can't sign. We just ask them to do that. So that probably doubles our attendance, as well as some folks who come in and wander around and go out the door without signing. So it's kind of an informal record keeping that we do. We're probably around closer to 5,000 that have attended the museum this year. And of course, we get lots of requests on Facebook from individuals doing research on their families, wanting to know more about Hardin County history. They may be living in California, but their relatives were from Hardin County, and we get a lot of those questions. You have a copy of the Cultural Heritage Plan, and we've have lots of individuals who come to the museum. They will go through it, and then they go, what else is there to do? And what we want to do is to give them exciting and interesting things to do to where they will change their travel plans and stay one more day in Hardin County, or they will come back and through those programs. One of them is the urban battlefield. We've been working on this, and this is going to be a self-guided tour where we have codes at different parts of the building or different parts of town. You hit that QR code, and it tells you the story of what happened there. And of course, we want to expand it from Upton to the Rolling Fork River, where people will take all day to drive the county to hear the story if they're interested of the Christmas raid. We're planning historic home tours. A lot of our historic buildings have been raised for commercial purposes, but we still have some interesting architecture out there that I think a lot of people would be interested to see, to learn about, and also the individuals who over time have lived there. We're looking at developing pioneer landmarks. We would like to build Haycraft's Pioneer Fort. And we also have a number of Civil War landmarks that need better signage and need to be worked out a little better. We do have quarterly exhibits in the museum that change from time to time that highlights events in Kentucky and national and Hardin County history. We have programs and tours. As an example, last fall we had 70 officers from the U.S. military who and what they do is they spend a couple of weeks planning their training for the year, and then kind of as a reward to themselves, they go someplace and talk about some type of battle that happened. And it just so happened they selected the Christmas raid for that. So they spent the weekend working on those plans. Then the day at the museum, and then it was nice weather, we got to walk to Cemetery Hill and talk about everything that happened on the raid and come back. And of course they spent some time in our restaurants and other places before they left town. So we were proud to have them in the museum. And there's some things we do just for fun. There's some things we do for kids and adults that are seasonal. We are going to do the Haunted Museum this year, where we run people through, turn the lights down, and it's nothing terrible, but it's a lot of fun. Then we have pictures with Santa. We've done, Mr. Pennington, you've helped with that, appreciate that, where we have pictures with Santa. They get to tell Santa what they want for Christmas and then go for a carriage ride. I'd like to finish up talking about our building, and it is a unique structure. Talk about that in a cultural heritage plan. But we've probably spent around $10,000 this year painting, fixing, repairing the classic structure. We want to know that we're partners in this, that you all aren't the only ones that do any repair on the building. But the handrails were looking bad. We removed rust and painted those. There had been some leaks over time. As you know, there's always been leaks with that building, and had damaged the ceilings in a couple areas. We fixed that. We installed UV protection on the arch windows on the 31W side of the building to protect our artifacts, and we have indigenous people's artifacts there that will rival any private or industrial collection. I'd encourage you to come see that. There was a roof joint where the old loading dock joined the building, and there was a leak there. We've recently repaired that, and the interior of the building that had been damaged. We've installed LED lighting in the majority of the museum. We've upgraded our security system with new high-definition cameras that we can monitor remotely. And we've wrapped the old loading dock with metal to protect it from further damage. With that said, we're grateful to the court for all that you've done. Tuck Point in the chimney, we were concerned it was at the point of coming down. but taking care of that, we really appreciate that. Replacing the old rotted fascia board on the old loading dock, and of course, always repairing the roof. There are just a couple more things to do. We need to improve the flashing around the HVAC units on the roof. There's a rainwater comes in the duct system, and that has to be flashing, or some issue there that has been overlooked. Many areas of the museum have had water damage over time, and with plaster chipping away, we need to take a look at those and get those painted, and of course the entire museum could be painted. But in closing, I represent the board of the Hardin County History Museum to extend our gratitude to the court for over 20 years of support that's essential to our existence. Without the support of the court and the use of the building, the Hardin County History Museum simply would cease to exist. Over the years, we have enjoyed the talent of many intelligent and accomplished board members who have all worked to get us to this apex that we enjoy today. With that said, their collective contributions pale when compared to that of the courts, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we beseech you to continue your support of the Hardin County History Museum. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those, but otherwise, I'm gone.
I just want to say thanks a lot. Appreciate all that you do. It's in a lot of ways a hidden gem, really, in Hardin County still, and so it takes a lot of work by a lot of people to keep all that going.
Yeah, one of the things we're trying to do is to go out to the county to let people know we're there, so they will come see us. Yeah. And of course, always open for advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on then to some presentations. We'll start out with planning and start with Adam King.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, I've got July and August. First, a few things that went before the Planning Commission. So this was a zone change request from the Jimmy Jenkins and his wife on Patriot Parkway. This would be just west of Magnolia Farms. So this was 2 tracts totaling about 42 acres. They rezoned this from urban residential R1 to general commercial C2. No project proposed, but Jimmy does intend to put a sign similar to the sign you see at Cali Crossing out there. So that's what's on the bottom left. Just kind of letting people know that the sod farm is there. When people have a wedding or something there, they'll run an ad, I guess, on the digital reader board. So that was approved. Another zone change request. This is down near the heart of Glendale, just off the proposed bypass. So this was the Seago family, 15 acres from urban residential R1 to general commercial C2. Again, no project proposed. This property has since been listed on the market. Bottom left photo there, that is the highway plans for the proposed northeast Glendale bypass. So again, this would be just off of a roundabout there at New Glendale Road in that proposed bypass. One item that went before the Board of Adjustment, so this is White Mills Christian Camp. Uniquely enough, most of the camp is zoned commercial. That relates back to in July of 1995 that the tax bill was going to not an individual. Again, so it got a commercial zone, but they wanted to build a new single-family dwelling there for the camp caretaker, Ben. So we had to do a conditional use permit to build a home on commercial property. Bottom left photo there, he did live in that 2-story historic home right on the river. You'll notice in the photograph, the home's outside of the blue blob. It's outside the floodplain. However, this year's flooding, it did flood, couldn't be salvaged. So again, they're going to build him a new home on much higher ground there at the camp. Looking at our various land use applications, so far for the year, 7 zone changes. We've reviewed 15 development plans for non-residential projects, 16 conditional use permits, 22 variances, And then I'll highlight in July, we did 10 subdivision plats, and then in August, we got really busy with 15 subdivision plats. Looking at the number of plats recorded and lots recorded. So plats for 2025 through the end of August, we're at 62. That is slightly down from 80 in 24. Looking at the number of new lots for 25, we are at 77, down considerably from 24 when we were at 103. Permits, also slightly down from last year. Total building permits through the end of August, we are at 332. That's down from 377 in 24. Also electrical, we're at 596. That's down from 643 last year. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you exactly why that is, but I think some of it's just what we're experiencing on a daily basis from market uncertainty going on right now, tariffs, interest rates, you name it. Single-family dwellings, 63 new homes so far through the end of August. That's down from 98 last year, but not far off of 23 and 22 when we were at 77 and 76. Again, the map, the homes are kind of all over wherever there's available lots. Looking at inspections, oddly enough, while permits are down, inspections aren't down that much. So 881 final inspections, that's down from 903 in 24. 208 footers, that's down from 236. And then rough ends on the electrical side, we were at 240, which is down from 288. Just some more informational items. So the grant we received from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet in 2023, we had one meeting in 2024, and then that plan got put on hold while we waited for the Transportation Cabinet to pick the route of that bypass. So now that that route has been chosen, we got the green light to move forward. So we had our second committee meeting last month here in the County Government Center. Start to kind of look at some of our draft goals and strategies. We will be taking that information to the Glendale Lions Club later this month, and I would anticipate as the plan starts to come together more, we would have a public meeting down in Glendale, probably at the old East Hardin sometime in the early fall, but really looking forward to that. At the American Planning Association Kentucky Chapter Conference last month, here we received an award with the Transportation Cabinet and several consulting firms. Again, we were one of 4 communities across the Commonwealth that received this grant. So here we are in a photo with the cities of Jeffersontown, Moorhead, and then Elizabethtown also got one of those grants. And then lastly, happy to report, I think this has already been spread far and wide, but Haley at our office received the Outstanding Young Planner Award from APA Kentucky at the conference for outstanding achievement by a planner in the first 5 years of their career. So congrats to her. That's all I've got. Happy to answer any questions.
You said this was an American Planning Association training also?
Yeah, so state law requires that not only planners, but also the Planning Commission and the Board of Adjustment have continuing education hours that they've got to receive. So we used to do 2 conferences a year. Now we've moved sort of to a 1 conference a year format that's statewide, and then we'll have various regional conferences. So I think we got 11 hours over 2 days of continuing education.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the report.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll have our road department report, and Dwight Morgan will provide us with that.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dwight.
I have your July and August report for the road department. Your encroachment permits are down about a third. Pretty much kind of reflects what Adam was talking about. I think a lot of that's due to interest rates. So If you're going to build a new house, you're going to, more than likely, if you're on a county road, you're going to have an encroachment permit. So if you're not building houses, guess what? You're not selling encroachment permits, but our encroachment fees are about close to the same as last year. So road signs, you can see there on the left. The new is we've replaced a lot of new old signs with new signs. You can see the repair there, and other is close to the same. So daily work activities for July and August. Mow trimming still stays the same. We've done quite a bit of tree trimming. Quite a few cross tiles, and we've had some major large cross tiles. One of those was out by Miss Odom there, and that needed to be replaced before we get any new pavement. So keep your fingers crossed. I got to find some money. But bridge maintenance is another thing that we've added some additional care to our bridges. We're currently working on cleaning some of those newer bridges and treating those with a silane solution that's going to protect the rebar down in the concrete. So we're in the process of doing that now. So we have not done a lot of asphalt resurfacing in the months of July and August. Those are typically a little slower, going from the past fiscal year into the new fiscal year. Takes a little bit of time to get our funding for that. So, and we depend everything on basically on Scotty's for paving. So, any questions? All right. Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, as I mentioned, there are some written reports available online. We'll move on to the next item. Are there any citizens that have any concerns or comments at this time? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is going over a resolution. We're looking at approving resolution 2025-174. This is related to approval of Stryker Sales LLC bid for 6 power load systems, 10 Power Pro XT cots, and 5 Stair Pro stair chairs. And of course, this is again, this is approval of the bid. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have roll call, please.
Squire Clem?
Yes.
Squire Hicks?
Yes.
Squire Muse?
Yes.
Squire Pennington?
Yes.
Squire Saltzman?
Yes.
Squire Thompson?
Yes.
Squire Whitehead?
Yes.
Squire Yates?
Yes.
Judge Tall?
Yes, motion passes. Next, consent agenda. Let's go ahead and review these items real quick here. We have the first two that are the typical financial types of items of paying bills and financial transfers, which is the resolution 173. The next one is 175. This is approval of road department personnel. And then item D, which is resolution 177. This is related to approval of lease agreement extension for the EMS station in Sonora with Baptist Health Hardin. This is a 5-year lease through August of 2030. One of the items that was changed in there is a 90-day clause that either party can step out of this agreement. And then finally, there's a approval, resolution 178 to approve an EMS, a grant for some EMS equipment. This is for $4,600 worth of equipment, and there's no match for Fiscal Court. Okay, that covers those. Does anyone disagree with or want to remove any of these items?
Judge, I don't want to remove anything, but do have a comment. Can
Okay.
I make a comment now?
Please.
Okay. As chairman of the Finance Committee, I'm very mindful of the claims that's brought before Fiscal Court each meeting, and the small amounts as well as the large amounts are given the same attention. And in this regard, I'd like to make a comment. As elected officials, we at times are required to drive to locations all over the county to address issues. We also attend various functions all over the county and at times outside the county to other parts of the state. And I simply want to commend my fellow magistrates for their good stewardship, because I've never seen a charge to taxpayers of Hardin County for personal expenses incurred by the magistrates except for the mandatory training that we're required to attend each year. And in addition, I'd like for the community to know that the magistrates voted in 2014 to freeze their salaries. There were some budget concerns at that time, and so we took action to try to do what we could at that time. And since that time, the courts have continued that practice. And in that almost 14 years, I guess it's been, or close to it, that's saved the taxpayers of Hardin County nearly $200,000. So I just want to say thank you to my fellow magistrates for their good stewardship. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll go ahead and have a roll call, please.
Squire Clem,
Yes.
Squire Hicks,
Yes.
Squire Muse,
Yes.
Squire Pennington,
Yes.
Squire Saltzman,
Yes.
Squire Thompson,
Yes.
Squire Whitehead,
Yes.
Squire Yates,
Yes.
Judge Tall.
Yes, motion passes. Okay. Next, we'll move on into our comment time. Start with our county attorney. Nothing? Okay. County clerk, Brian?
I'll just share one bit of news to the public. So the county clerk's office has obviously not operated any elections this year, so we've been using some of that time very judiciously in a project that we hope will benefit the public and add to the history of what is available on our website. We have scanned, uploaded, and documented 70 years of election history. It is now available on our website. Folks who are interested in the last 70 years of history related to elections can go and view that from the comfort of their home or their local electronic device. You just go to our elections tab, hit elections, historical election information. Ashley McMurtry, my election supervisor, came to me with this project idea. She spent a ton of hours on it. You can learn some funny and interesting things that have happened, interesting places that have served as polling locations. If you have a family member or a loved one who served as a poll worker many years ago, you can see which locations they worked at, which elections they worked at. If you're interested in the outcome of a city council race 30 years ago, it's all on there. I enjoyed reading through a lot of this, and it's all been indexed. There are instructions on the website on how to find it. Unlike some of our other documents, it's not indexed by name. That would have taken thousands of additional man hours, but I'm really proud of Ashley for this project and the hard work she put into it.
All right, very good, thank you. Magistrate Yates.
The only thing I have, Judge, is that our next Emergency Service Committee meeting will be this Thursday at 3:30 p.m.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Saltzman.
No, thank you.
Magistrate Whitehead.
Thank you. Just want to remind the public, the next Resources and Community Support Committee meeting will be Monday, September 15th at 3:30. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Clem.
Yes, Judge. The next Finance Committee meeting is Tuesday, September the 16th at 3:30 across the hall. Also, the Town Hall Forum is October the 27th. This is a change from our normal Tuesday to Monday because we'd have a conflict with our Fiscal Court meeting that day. So, again, it is on Monday, not Tuesday, October the 27th at 5:30 p.m. here in the courtroom. And just want to remind folks, please don't drink and drive and don't text and drive. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Pennington.
No comment, sir.
Magistrate Thompson. No comment. Magistrate Hicks.
I just want to mention that, you know, the people of Hardin County is the eyes. You see what goes on out there. And if you have a problem, contact your magistrate and let us know what it is, and we'll try our best to take care of it. I know we had a sinkhole fell in the side of the road, and a lady pretty much tore the front end of our truck out. And if somebody hadn't have called and said, hey, we've got an issue here, we wouldn't have known it. But got a hold of Dwight in the road department, and they jumped right on it and fixed it. So I thank Dwight for that. And but you know, if you see something out there, let us know. Because if you don't let us know, sometimes we don't know. So pick up the phone, give your magistrate, give the judge a phone call.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Muse.
I'd like to remind everyone the next Public Works Committee meeting's tomorrow at 3:30 across the hall.
All right, thanks. And then just a reminder of our next Fiscal Court meeting is Tuesday, September 23rd at 5:30, right here in this room. Okay, we'll move on then. We're going to have a closed session. I move to go to closed session pursuant to KRS 61.8101B for deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, but only when publicity would be likely to affect the value of a specific piece of property to be acquired for public use or sold by a public agency. Is there a second?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, we'll have roll call, please.
Squire Clem?
Yes.
Squire Hicks?
Yes.
Squire Muse?
Yes.
Squire Pennington?
Yes.
Squire Saltzman?
Yes.
Squire Thompson?
Yes.
Squire Whitehead?
Yes.
Squire Yates?
Yes.
Judge Tall?
Yes, motion passes. Okay. You're welcome to hang around, but there'll be no business after this, and we'll come back just to adjourn.
All right.
All right, do we have a motion over here to adjourn?
Motion.
Need a second? Second, okay. Any objections?
Absolutely. I motion to adjourn.
Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.
You didn't hear my objection, Your Honor.